So wait, let me just clean my. So basically, that's how the software looks like. It's called Adobe Fresco, and it's like I think it's available on the App Store because that's how I got it. So, anyways, you go here, you press create new, and there. So I'll just press that. Then you have like a lot of like options like square, 4K, 8K web illustration, standard HD, full HD, etc. So I'll just use like normal square. Acha. So basically this is like how it looks like. So yeah. When you press this, so these are basically pixel brushes. For example, actually I'll just open one of my pieces. I'll just use this. Acha. So basically so you go here on pixel brushes, then you have like a lot of what do you say, options like basic. There are like a lot of options, but I don't really use pixel brushes. But okay, so for minor details, you have the basic ones. You have charcoal. It can make you like it's like this. It's like this. These brushes are like just pixelated. That's it. तो आपको जैसा for example this kind of quality, like these small details, for example this one, ये आपको pixel brushes से नहीं मिलता because it's kind of because that's like the whole point of pixel brushes, to give like to basically give like a web illustrator kind of vibe. So I don't really use them much, but yeah. So you have basic charcoal, comics, dry media, FX, ink, lettering, marker, mixer brushes, painting, rakes, and sketching. Or it's like you don't really have to pay. Like for this software, you don't have to pay. Like लेकिन कई इस तरह जैसा for example, you have these FX वाली ये चीजें with the store, you can't use those because then you'll have to pay. So otherwise, Procreate is also an app, but that's it. Acha, watercolor, I use watercolor a bit. I mostly use the wash soft one in order to add effects. For example, I'll just choose this color with this, and so intensity अगर आपने वो भी मैं वैसे बता दूंगी अभी आगे. So basically this is just, add more like effects to it. I usually use it when I'm making like a landscape or there's like rain or something like that. That's when I use that. लेकिन इसके अंदर काफ़ी options हैं. There's water, color, round, detail. I think you guys can see. अच्छा, anyways, उसके बाद there's also oil. For example, जो oil paints होते हैं, it gives you kind of that effect. I'll just show you one of those. Oil paint round. So like it just gives you that oil paint kind of vibe to it. Like I hope you guys can see that there's like this really weird texture that you usually get when you're using oil paints. So yeah, it's like really cool. फिर उसके बाद इसके अंदर these are basically live brushes. They're like discrete in like 3 parts. One's like pixel brushes, pair live brushes, or I usually just use vector brushes because that's something I use like the most. So iske upar basically I'll just draw it over here. It basically gives you like this kind of look. Let me just this kind of gives you that kind of vibe. For example, इधर मैंने इस पूरे को outline किया with that because it's kind of like a really you know, it actually adds like a lot of depth, and like it gives definition to the object, so that's really nice. Or waki bhi hai, but I really don't use any of these a lot. It depends from person to person what kind of like thing you're making. But the point of me telling you guys about these brushes is that okay, they're like a lot of you know what do you say? Yeah, there, yeah, basically there's a lot of variety from what you can choose. तो काफी अच्छा है. Anyways, then we have the eraser. This is the eraser. अच्छा, आप eraser पे भी आपको you have like a lot of variety, whatever जो भी आपको चाहिए. I mostly just go with basic round, so I'll just go on this and erase what. अच्छा, yeah, I'll just go here and just simple. तो इतना, yeah, that's there. Acha, I don't use this a lot, but I'll show you guys how you use this. It's basically like you go either, ठीक है, ये जो fourth वाला है, it's basically like shapes, normal shapes, which allow you to color some area. For example, I think I should turn the brightness a bit like low so you guys can see. Acha, so basically this kind of thing appears. You can choose from different shapes. There's circle, square, and polygon. So square, I'll just use square. It's basically mostly used when you're making something that's like it should be like really proper, and like all the colors should be like on point and stuff. तो फिर अच्छा ये आता है और उसके नीचे it says fill, erase वगैरह. When you go on fill, you choose a color, where whatever color you want. I'll go with yellow. Go with the yellow. Now I'm just gonna press fill, so the entire thing is gonna like fill with it. You know what I mean? Varna, otherwise, if you're like looking for something else, so आपको पूरा नीचे जाके इस तरह का करना पड़ता है, which takes up a lot of time. But it depends what kind of illustration you're making. Then we have the transform one. ये बिल्कुल illustrator की तरह है. इसमें ये होता है कि for example whatever you made, आप इसको change कर सकते हैं इसकी position, but it depends आपने कौन सी layer choose की हुई है. तो I've chosen this layer, this one, the one that's blue. So obviously that it's gonna transform that. Then we have these things, I don't know what to call them, but these are basically like आप एक, for example, I'll just choose this girl. I should choose this man. Then I'm just going to अच्छा हाँ, अब इसको हम ट्रांसफॉर्म करना है. मैंने इसको चूज किया है, इसको हमने उठा के इधर करना है. Wait, why is this not moving? Oh, actually, वो दूसरा. अच्छा, but you guys get the hang of it. I'll just still show you guys. Wait. अच्छा, so I chose circle. I'll just go इधर ही. ये मैंने इसको किया है. अब there are like options. There's transform, there's erase, mask. I'll just erase it. So this basically works with when you're making like some different kind of background. तो आप तब use कर सकते हो ये, but I never really use this. अच्छा, then we have this color fill. ये basically ये इससे होता है if I want the background to be yellow, if I want this, wait, let me just go here. If I want the brain to be yellow, तो मैं वो भी कर दूंगी. Yeah, basically that's how you color fill an object. You basically just press this button over there that I've chosen, and if you're like you're working with like one single palette, so you're just gonna take this dropper, and I want this color, so I'm just gonna use the eyedropper. or just to go with the, yeah. So basically that's how that works. फिर उसके बाद हमारे पास ये भी है फोटोज से आप फॉर एग्जांपल देयर आर लॉट ऑफ लाइक इलस्ट्रेटर्स वो ये करते हैं कि they make like their design either on a paper. That's like sometimes I do that as well, but they usually make it on a paper or something, और फिर उसके बाद आप इधर photos पे जाते हो just make sure that everything's on point, and when you start making it on the actual um like actual uh app or something, so like everything's going as you've planned. So sometimes you do that, otherwise it's a lot better if you just straight up start freelancing and just doing it free-handedly, because now it's a lot more and there's like more creativity. But you can choose your like camera, photos, files. You can like choose whatever you want. फिर वो पूरी picture ऊपर आ जाती है. Then it's but like there's no point in doing that, because then वो यही होएगा कि you're just tracing off a picture, and that's not actually like doing art. So I think you guys shouldn't really use that. But yeah, if you guys are creating something like some piece on your like on a paper and you want to trace it over again, actually, so you want to trace it all over again, then what you can do is that just take a picture and then you can trace it. That's fine. But yeah, I don't use it a lot, but if I have to like trace something, so then I use that. But acha, this is the color wheel. These are the colors I've used in this entire thing. Then I'll come to the layers. Acha, so basically you just choose whatever color. There are like a billion colors. You can choose whatever color you want. So it's really simple. फिर उसके बाद इधर से आप brightness, saturation, you can change everything, because they're like slides and stuff, so it's pretty simple. Or agar you're looking for really neutral colors which are following one single palette, then you just press all. So either there are like a lot of swatches and themes, so you can choose from them as well. फिर उसके बाद इधर इस color के नीचे बिल्कुल आता है size. You can change the size from this, which I don't know why it's not focusing, but it's over here. Yeah. अच्छा, तो बेसिकली आप साइज को ज़्यादा कर सकते हो, आप कम कर सकते हो. It depends, whatever you want. Then we have the flow, because I'm using watercolor, तो पानी की flow कितनी होनी चाहिए. You can also test that out. If it's like a lot, so it's just gonna splatter like everywhere, like this. Then we have the paint mix. अच्छा, ये जो दो नीचे वाली चीज़ें हैं, they only come when you are using the live brushes, when you're either using watercolor or oil brushes, तो वो तब आती हैं. But then color mix, तो color जितना, for example, if I'll just show you guys. I want like that's a color mix. So it's not gonna be like really bright. It's gonna be and it's not gonna have like a lot of depth, because obviously oil paint ke saath ye hota hai that you have to mix as much as you can in order to get a good you know like have good layers and all that. तो वो उधर है. अच्छा, ये जो आखिरी वाला है, it's just brush settings. You can change the angle. You can I'll just choose ये pressure dynamics है और velocity dynamics है. But I don't think anyone really like. I don't use these, so but I'll just go over them. Anyways, when you move on to this, the other side, they're like layers. उधर ऊपर इधर आप layers डाल सकते. If you guys don't know what layers are, so basically this is. I'll go on this one. This is one layer. So if I want to hide this entire thing is going to disappear because I've painted it on this layer. और जब आप एक layer पे, for example, मैंने इसे orange किया हुआ है, and I'm like using this layer, then the previous orange layer के ऊपर कोई निशान नहीं जाएगा because it's locked, and obviously we're not using it anymore. Then उसके बाद this area, this one is basically like adding new layers. You can add new layers. इधर से hide होता है आता है, तो all that. Or per this is something I use sometimes when I'm making some like making buildings and stuff. So and I want everything to be accurate. This is like a ruler. You just go here and just draw stuff. So I mean that's kind of it for this entire app. I yeah. I just so yeah. This is like you can just rotate it, do whatever you guys want. It's basically just to have everything in proportion and everything in yeah, so that's how it looks. But I hope you guys understand, okay, how do you do this. Like honestly it's not really hard because I just when I downloaded this app, I used 2-3 other apps along with Adobe Fresco, but I thought this was like the easiest software and it gets you to like make some really good stuff. I've I honestly just like I made illustrations for this page of Azertal, if you guys don't know. So I made all of these just with uh, Fresco, and it's honestly really easy to use, and yeah, it's really easy to use. So I think if you guys start like if you guys are interested in illustrations and you guys start from um Fresco, तो काफी like you like आपका हाथ बहुत खुलेगा and you will actually understand कि there's so much more. And then after you've learned the basics, then you can probably opt for buying like a proper software. Yeah, then you can I don't know, 1 second, I think I'm getting a call. Just so basically that's like if you guys want to start illustration, then I would say like download the app of Adobe Fresco and just learn the basics. It's pretty simple. I just went over them once, but obviously there's YouTube. You guys can again इतना समझ नहीं आया, then you guys can always you know uh start watching videos on YouTube. They can mostly on YouTube they just tell you to start tracing pictures, but if you start tracing pictures, then in my opinion I don't think you will learn. So just start free-handedly or just take it from there. So I hope you guys like the session, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining.